Hello there, and welcome to my second speed build. So, as you may or may not know, May the 4th is coming up very shortly, and that is Star Wars Day. So, I figured, why not make a Star Wars build? So, I have my Star Wars shirt on. I also have Baby Yoda socks on as well, and yeah, so let's get all Star Warsy up in here. So, The Sims actually came out with a Star Wars pack a couple months ago, and I love Star Wars. It's like one of my absolute favorite movies series. I've seen all of them. I read like Star Wars books. I know everything pretty much there possibly could be to know about Star Wars. And I'm just a big Star Wars fan. And when The Sims came out and said that they're coming out with a expansion pack for Star Wars, I was like, oh my god, I lost it, because it's two of my favorite things coming together. And it is awesome. The Sims community has like bad feelings towards the expansion pack, but it's like you wouldn't really like it if you're not a Star Wars fan. I think that's kind of what a lot of like the backlash, I guess, come from. But I don't know. I like it because I appreciate Star Wars. I think it's so cool to have like Star Wars items in The Sims to be able to build with. I think it's so sick and so cool. So the actual build that we're building today is called the Hoth base, or the Echo base, and I think this was in the episode 5 of Star Wars. I'm pretty sure The Empire Strikes Back, where the rebels are in their base, and Hoth is like a really snowy world in Star Wars. It's just like all ice and snow, and the rebels have this secret base where they're operating out of and planning all their missions, and the Empire comes and like attacks the base. Definitely like an iconic scene. And if you know Star Wars, there's like these like little walker things. They're called ATs, I believe, and they're like those giant like machine things that look like, I don't know, like giant like dogs or cats or something like that, but they're massive. Yeah, so I figured it'd be really cool to like do some sort of spin on what I interpret as the Hoth base. So this right here is the command center. It's like the area where all the rebels sit and they do their mission planning and all their tactical stuff, and they're keeping an eye on their satellites, and they're making decisions out of there and getting their intelligence. So that's what this room is. So there's lots of different screens and maps, and there's a radio, there's books so they can learn about certain things and reference certain things. So that is the kind of the idea of this room right here. It's where they sit and they gather and they operate out of. Yeah, it's just like really fun because there's like lots of different like clutter items, and you can make it like super detailed. And I was trying to make it look like it was like lived in, like these people actually are in this room and planning, and there's papers everywhere, and there's like a helmet there and all sorts of stuff like scattered around, so it looks like really like lived in. If you're not a Star Wars fan, May the 4th is like May the Force be with you, like May the 4th, like it sounds similar, so I guess that's why they have Star Wars Day on May the 4th. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that my favorite Star Wars movie was Revenge of the Sith, episode 3. And maybe it's not the best movie in terms of acting and like all the technical Hollywood stuff, but just in terms of like raw storyline and plot, I thought Revenge of the Sith was like the coolest moment ever. And that's when, spoiler alert, so if you've never seen Star Wars and you plan on watching it, there's a spoiler, but this is when like Anakin turns into Darth Vader, and when the evil empire like takes over the galaxy. It's like the turning point. So I just loved like the lore and the story behind it, because it was really cool in that movie to like see like everything just flip and turn, and like that whole political process and all the dark evil stuff going on. It was just like a really really sick plot and story. That's what they did. They did Execute Order 66, where they had to kill all the Jedis, and it was just like a sick, crazy movie. So this room right here is the living room, the study. It's just an area where people can come, they can sit, they can read, they can chat, sit down, have a drink, whatever, and just, relax. I also end up putting a fireplace in this area too, so they can sit around the fireplace and warm up because it's so cold outside. And you'll also notice that I do put a little Baby Yoda. Hey, there he is. Baby Yoda. I feel like if you don't even watch Star Wars, Baby Yoda is just iconic, and you probably know who Baby Yoda is. And I love that they have him in The Sims. It's so awesome. He's so cute. I wish he was actually like a character and not just an object, but he's just a statue. Okay, so this room here is the data room. So I got inspiration from this room from the Jedi Temple. So in the movies, they have the Jedi Temple where they have all these hologram data tower things where you can retrieve information. So it's a futuristic library. That's where I got the inspiration for this room from. And yeah, it's just that's all their data, their information, their internet. Make it what you will, use your imagination, but I thought it came out pretty cool, pretty sick. And I ended up putting actually a glass wall so that if you're outside you can look through the glass and see all those computers. Now this room here is the I guess the leader's quarters. So if you're the leader of the rebels, I just envision you go through those secret doors, and this is where the commander-in-chief sits, and it's his own room or her own room to just chill out and do their thing. Make decisions, sign orders, yada yada, whatever presidents or leaders do. And I put all the gold in the safe because I thought that was really sick. Of course you gotta have your gold collected up and locked down. Okay, now this is probably my favorite area of the build. Oh, there's that glass wall that I was talking about to look onto the data room. But so this is probably my favorite part of the build. It is the bar because all the rebels, they gotta have fun, they gotta chill out and have a drink and have a good time. So a really famous scene or well-known thing from Star Wars is the cantina. It's where there's a really famous melody or song that came out of the cantina. So in The Sims they have all this bar stuff because it's just an iconic part of Star Wars. The Star Wars Sims game has all these bar items, and it's super cool because you can recreate your own cantinas, and that's what I wanted to do. And it's just cool. It looks sci-fi-y. There's a weird frog in a cage or whatever, a fish tank, whatever. But yeah, it's just really cool and has that fantasy Star Wars sci-fi vibe to it. It's not a normal bar that you could find on your street. And yeah, I did a little area for a singer or entertainer or comedian to come up and do their thing and entertain all the people drinking. Oh, and if you notice, there's little speakers and alarms all throughout the building, because if there's an invasion, the lights can go off and the speaker can go on and let people know oh, can't be drinking anymore, you gotta get ready for battle. Okay, now it is time to go into the tour of the base. Let's dive on into it. Alright, let's take a tour of the Hoth base. So of course it's obviously snowy, it's a tundra, lots of snow, it's super cold. So this is the entrance of the base. So there's the area where you can park your hover cars. There's a tent out here. This is the main area where you start off. You'll immediately see that there is a garage that you can come into. And you'll also see that there's trenches. So, if you're a rebel, you can come down here and you can, see. You can sneak down here and you can look through the windows and shoot out and defend your base. And there's also one over here on the other side too. So there's a very tight security, so you have to actually come in here. The guard is like in their station over here, and you have to be, checked out. They can see you. You're not getting through unless you're legit. And then if you do get through, you can come through the door and come through the main door. So that's the main entrance, and you cannot enter through here. It's just one way in and one way out. You also, actually, I take that back. You can actually also get in through the garage if you go through this area, but same thing. Super strict security. Good luck getting in. This is the main garage. I don't think they would actually have these cars in the Snowy Planet, but I put them in there because they look cool. So this is where all the mechanical stuff goes. If you need a fixin', you come here. I don't know what these are, but they look like they belonged. And yeah, here's another station. All the helmets lined up. And it looks like that one's under repair. Okay, so you come in through this way. You're either coming in through here or through here. And then you're greeted by a nice hallway. There's some plants, a statue, yada yada. But this is the living room. So this is the area where you'd come and sit. There's Baby Yoda, the fire. Super cozy and just chill. This is the command center. So I picture, lots of people running around frantically, making decisions. It's a little bit hectic. So that's where that happens. And yeah, lots of screens. There's maps and stuff. Tactical screens. It looks official, And then over here is all the contraband. So they have stolen stormtrooper helmets and weapons that they keep over here and use for themselves. Lockers. Basically the weapons area. There's a couple desks here. So that's the main floor. And then there is the basement. So you would come around through here and you go down the stairs. Ooh. So right when you come down the stairs, there's tons and tons of oil, torpedoes, all the, stuff to fuel their vehicles and weapons and starfighters and whatever. And there's a gym because, this is a military base, so they gotta stay fit and in shape. Do some yoga, meditation, punching bags, you name it, we got it. Then down this hallway is the living quarters. You can sleep in there. And then there's another living quarters right here. And then through this secret door, or a really secure door, is the science room. I thought it would be cool to have a room where they can do scientific experiments, and that would be here. So there's like the scientist's desk. He sits there and does experiments and has all sorts of samples and sciencey stuff on these shelves. Fancy machine to do fancy science things. A weird specimen in a jar. A microscope thing. And then on the other side we have the bathroom, because you gotta go to the bathroom. Even rebels go to the bathroom. So I have a ladies' room and a men's room. And yeah, just simple showers, toilets, sinks. Pretty standard, but necessary. This is the commander's area. Very hard to get into. They're a very high key person, so they gotta be protected. So this is the room. This is like the waiting room. So if you're lucky enough to get through this door, you get to the waiting room. So you can, sit, read a book, chill out. You're on camera, so the leader guy is like making sure you're not sketchy, and then they'll let you in. And there's another door, but you can get in. And yeah, so that's the desk. Super official, you know, sitting here, being all leader-like. Big responsibility. Lots of screens. Bag of money over there. We got some chests on the other side. And our vault of all our gold. You know, that holds all the wealth of the rebels. Gotta keep it protected. And the leader is the only person that has access to the data room, because all this stuff is like super important for their missions and everything. And if this gets destroyed, then the rebels go down with it, so it's gotta be kept pretty secretive. And then this is the bar, which is my favorite part of the build. I think it came out so cool. I love that the Sims have all these items for a Star Wars cantina. I think it's just really sick. So there's a kitchen. I imagine there's some sort of chef or cook staff that's there at the base, and they cook for everybody, and everyone sits along here and has their meals. Industrial kitchen over here. Coffee. Gotta stay awake. And then this is the actual bar area. I really like the wall. I don't know, it's just very eclectic and cool and random, but I like it. There's the stage. This was actually before The Sims introduced platforms. I built this build a while ago, and there wasn't platforms, but now we have platforms, so I could have made that actually a little bit higher. And yeah, there's the bar. It's just, I just love it. It's just really detailed and very, I don't know, steampunk sci-fi. It's cool. There's another tiny bar over here. And I don't know, that yellow juice, it just looks refreshing, doesn't it? The frog, though, isn't that kind of creepy? Ooh, look at the frogs. Hello there. Alright, so that is it for the build. I hope you enjoyed my Hoth Echo Base. May the Force be with you. Have a good day. Bye.